Grammar and vocabulary alone are not enough to help you sound fluent when you're speaking English. So today I'm going to share with you something called intonation, which is all about the way we speak English and the way we sound when we are forming our sentences. So let's get started. In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you the falling and rising tones. So starting off with questions. Depending on what type of question you're asking, you would either use a falling or rising intonation. Now with yes or no questions, the intonation has to kind of sound like a U sound. As in, it goes up slowly. So for example, if I was to ask the question, are you from Italy? Are you from Italy? Notice the last word, Italy. Imagine the sound going kind of like this. Are you from Italy? Now that sound is making it sound like a question. So when you are asking a yes or no question, you want to have that type of intonation. Even if your pronunciation is a little bit strange and it is hard for the person to understand you, they will still know that you are asking a question from your intonation. So yes or no questions like that, use the rising intonation. However, with WH questions like who, why, where, and what, we use the falling intonation. For example, where are you from? Notice in that sentence, there is no rising. It is only falling as it gets to the end. So, where are you from? Now we also have lists, so sentences that we can call lists. If I was to ask you the question, what kind of animals do you like? You might answer with a sentence like this. So I like cats, birds, and dogs. Notice as it gets to the end of the sentence, we are falling in intonation. So I like cats, birds, and dogs. It is going down. That is a type of sentence that is in a list form. So for sentences like that, every word in it is rising except for the last one, where we are always falling in sound. Another type of question that we have is a tag question. Depending on what type of tag question you're asking, you would either also be falling or rising in intonation. So for a tag question that you already know the answer to, but you're asking just to make some conversation, you will use the falling intonation at the end of it. To use this in a sentence, I would say something like, you live in London, don't you? Don't you in that sentence is the tag. So we give it a falling intonation to give the sound like we already know the answer to it, but we are asking it anyway. The other type of tag question with a rising intonation is a question that you don't know the answer to. So you really don't know the answer to it and you're genuinely asking the question, but you're using a tag in it. For example, you live in London, don't you? So notice at the end with the tag, don't you, it is going up. So you live in London, don't you? Now another type of sentence where we use the falling intonation is a command. A command is when you are telling somebody to do something. Maybe in a polite way, maybe not so polite. But we always use the falling intonation for it. For example, take a seat. Now notice in that sentence, I am giving a command, but it is a falling intonation. Another example might be me telling my little brother to do your homework. So I might say to him, do your homework. Another sentence where we use the rising intonation is a direct address. Now a direct address is exactly that. So you are addressing, so talking to somebody in a direct way. Maybe you are saying their name, or maybe you are saying something like sir or ma'am or miss. For example, if I want to get somebody's attention, and have them follow me because maybe they are my customer and I want to show them where their room is or where their table or seat is. I might address them directly like, "Sir, this way please." So notice the first word in that sentence has a rising intonation. Because I am directly addressing that man, I am saying "sir" with a rising intonation to capture his attention. I might have a friend whose name is Eva. To capture her attention, I might say something like this: "Eva, where are you going?" So it works with both names and titles like "sir." I hope you gained some valuable information in this lesson. Thank you for listening and see you next time.